daun kecil, daun
Well, Honorable Judge, Board of the team and the owner of this house. The design of this house is actually trying to simply analyze the case like this. You are getting sick and then you are going to the hospital, you meet your doctor examining you, and then the doctor is actually not telling you what's the truth, and then you go home, doctor say that you are okay, you go home, and then suddenly tomorrow when you wake up in the morning, opening your eyes, you are going to be cured. But the thing is, this is not that simple, ladies and gentlemen, because the thing is when you are trying on the curing process, it's not just the doctor is the only actor who is doing the process here, because we need to do such as a prevention, we need to do such as to avoid this thing, to not to eat this thing, to not to do that thing. How could on earth the patient is going to be cured if they are themselves and the family themselves don't know what's actually wrong with this guy, what's actually very wrong, and what's actually how to actually cure them? No, thank you. Sit down. So because, ladies and gentlemen, we think that the argument that's brought by the side of this house is relatively illogical. First, no, thank you. I like to actually here bring two kind of rebuttal. The first one about how does they think the first priority of the doctor is to heal their patient. So about to inform it or not, to tell the truth or not, it's just a side things and a side priority, and it's not to actually put aside in the very first place. The second point of rebuttal is about how does they believe that by telling the truth it can influence the health of the patient itself. And then the third rebuttal is going to be about how does to hold up the they are trying to do the lie because it is in the aim to hold up the welfare of the patient itself. Comes to my first debate, ladies and gentlemen. That's about their belief that the first priority of doctor is to heal the patient, not to inform them about what is actually happening. How could you actually try to heal someone if you are not actually doing the discussion with these people itself? Because what we see on the procedure in the hospital itself is if you are going to be on the right way, it's actually like this. You are trying to be examined and then you are trying to be informed. This is actually your disease. You are getting wrong on this place. And how to cure is this, and like this. No, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, how could just the doctors should be the one who is the most clever people in this world, and then he just simply taking this easy and then just say, okay, I don't need to tell him because he is not going to do anything with that, so I just cure it by myself and then it's going to be okay. It's not that simple, ladies and gentlemen. If you even consider about the possibility if the doctor examine and the doctor prediction is getting wrong, but on that place, the one who knows about what's actually wrong is just he himself. But it's very different if the doctor telling the truth to the patient. You are actually getting the heart attack, and then actually this patient can actually share this information with other people. So by seeing such as you get activity like this, and then you get the sickness like this, and then it can actually decrease the possibility that the doctor don't do something such as malpractice and a wrong prediction. It can be very crucial, ladies and gentlemen, because what you are going to fix is not a broken chair, it's not a broken air, it's not a broken glass, ladies and gentlemen. It's about people who is alive, who is actually have something to do, and it's not just going to be cured sometimes not going to be cured on the short term. It can take time, ladies and gentlemen, and during that time, the patient itself needs to do some prevention. Because of that, ladies and gentlemen, because of that, there is no reason at all, and it's not justified to lie by any means to the patient about what is actually happening. And then coming to the second rebuttal about that telling the truth can influence the health of the patient. Yes, we believe this, that when you sometimes getting the truth, sometimes it's not always good. But ladies and gentlemen, are you playing a drama and gentlemen. Some people, if they are really value the value of life, of course they are trying to find the way. Or actually maybe the way is not there anymore. They can do the best for the rest of their life, ladies and gentlemen. This kind of possibility that we don't want to be removed from the passion, this kind of possibility that we want to still be exist by telling them the truth to what's actually happening to themselves. They are giving you example, yes sir.
Let's say I have depression, I'm in the hospital to cure cancer stage 1. You know by diagnosis that I'm suicidal and my immune system will fall if my depression gets worse. You're going to tell me that my cancer has progressed? Are you?
Yes, actually I'm knowing that my life has been living a short term of time to be left and remain, ladies and gentlemen. That's better if I just simply, today I'm still logging with my friend, I'm still hanging out with my friend, and tomorrow I'm getting and being ended, ladies and gentlemen. It's even getting worse, ladies and gentlemen. And when the second spirit of the side of this house tries to give the example, such as you are taking your passion, that you are crazy, and then because of that maybe these people can commit suicide. I think it's better to just tell them, can you imagine if these people is not being told and being informed that they are crazy, and then suddenly he don't just, maybe the possibility is not just commit suicide, but can kill everybody on their families and gentlemen. It's even worse, ladies and gentlemen. But when you try to tell him, you try to tell his family, the family can do the prevention, such as being more aware to his sickness and his disease, ladies and gentlemen. Another example is such as like this. You get the cancer, you get the heart attack, but the doctor trying to actually lie from you, and then suddenly one of your friends asks you to go to the roller coaster and the amusement park, and then you think that everything is okay, this is just the appendix problem, and then you just go with them, and then suddenly when you are going down from that roller coaster, you have been ended. This is what you want, ladies and gentlemen? Of course not. What I mean here is the patient itself needs to know what's happening so they can do the prevention, and they can actually cooperate with the doctor to actually being together to fix them and cure themselves, ladies and gentlemen, because this is their right and this is what they need. And when they are trying to say about the holding up the welfare, they never give the further explanation on this part, ladies and gentlemen. However, they could guarantee that by giving them, by not telling the truth, it can make the patient will be more proper and the prosperity will be better. Because of that, ladies and gentlemen, all this argument, I still stand with the motion. I'm Devi Fitriani, I raise my case.
Thank you very much. Now I invite the third speaker for opposition, Dr.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, members of Parliament, honorable Mr. Speaker, sir. As a proposition whip speaker, I'd just like to clarify a few things. You do not die with stage 2 cancer. You go to chemo. That is the question why I asked. You still have the possibility to live, but your willingness to do so is extremely important. Your immune system is also extremely important to actually stay alive. There are certain aspects of other issues that we talked about, which we explained in my classes. There are times when the knowledge that you obtain is not worth compromising your health and your potential to be cured. Now, that is today's debate here today, ladies and gentlemen. That is the debate on today's contention, Mr. Speaker. We're not saying that doctors are crazy people, they're bored to death, they kind of harass and abuse their patients once in a while because it's a fart joke. Normally, doctors have no reason to lie to their patients. They talked about, if they lie about that I don't have a certain disease and I don't eat something, now I'll get sick. What are you going to do about it? Number one, remember, Mr. Speaker, that the incentives for these doctors in exceptional cases to lie is to cure these people. If the doctor knows that a certain person doesn't eat something, there's no reason for this guy to lie about it. You need to understand the pretexts of what this debate is about. Their notion is that doctors should never lie to their patients. We believe in certain circumstances that actually do exist in today's world, they should. If the choice is a dichotomy or moral choice, do you inform them or do you cure them? The Hippocratic Oath talks about, as a doctor, you have an obligation to cure them. There is no necessarily obligation to inform them, especially if it has nothing to do, or more importantly, compromises the former more important nature. Please sit down, sir. They themselves said that patients mostly are there to get cured. They also said that patients delegate this right because they're ignorant of their issues. Mr. Speaker, I'll just ask you one question. If the ignorance and positive mentality is actually crucial to your situation of getting cured, do you want the doctor to come up and say, you know what, I'm supposed to make you optimistic, but I can't. So can I lie to you and make you try to get happy? You get a Munchausen's disease patient and say that, I know that you're lying, these are sugar pills, but you go take them because I think you're whack. There are certain procedures we believe that this is something that we have a lack of imagination, and to another extent, extreme sense where they believe we're living in a world where doctors lie for fun. The two clashes that we'd like to identify in today's debate is as follows. Number one, which is more important, the right to know and be informed of your condition, and that alone? Or is it more important as a person that goes to a hospital, which already indicates that this person's first interest is to get cured, to be actually healthy again, to actually get better, or at least alleviate the situations and the conditions that we have. The second question will be a little bit more extensive on the issues of, do patients benefit? AKA, are there circumstances where doctors have to lie and deceive their patients for the purpose of curing them? Yes, sir.
How you prove to us that this is not even backstabbing the integrity principle of the doctor, even if it is emergency situation?
What about the other way around? If it is an emergency, if deception is key to curing, your emotion and your position is that we should still tell them. End of the story. The second clash is basically about the fact that are there real issues where patients will benefit, aka will they be cured because of the deception that they receive? First clash, Mr. Speaker. They keep on saying that we have bodily autonomy and therefore we can make our own choices based on the knowledge that we have or receive from doctors. But here's another contradiction from the proposition side. They accepted the fact most patients simply go there to get cured. They delegate this right and ask expertise as a doctor because they themselves don't know how to deal with these issues, what the conditions are, and how to get cured. In that sense, we believe that in the clash of interests of bodily autonomy, the first thing that should come as a logical step, they went to the hospital to get cured, and they meet a doctor with the expectations to get cured. Now, of course, that knowing about your illnesses and knowing about your conditions can, in most cases, will be crucial in your healing process. In these cases, the doctors will not have to lie because it is going against the purpose. If there are circumstances in certain cases, like I explained before, if you have depression where it gets worse, if you have schizophrenics that need to know what reality is and grasp it, if you have people with Munchausen's, if you have people that will get their immune systems compromised because they're too stressed and panic-ridden, do you still tell them the truth? Because we believe in these circumstances, we'll go into the specifics a little later, but when you think about the hospital's role, and especially the role of the doctors in today's society, and also the best interest of what the patient is trying to achieve in the end, it is eventually where the patient, the doctor, every one of the people within these parties, eventually the end goal is to get cured. If it requires a little line to get there certain times and in certain extreme circumstances, we believe that the doctor should have this option open. The second question, Mr. Speaker, please sit down. The second issue is that we also like to point out what they have said are the benefits of always telling the truth, and our benefits are sometimes where it's not only saving their health from deteriorating, but also is required for the healing process. They basically said this. What they said was that it prepares them for getting ready to cure lives because you might have a heart attack tomorrow. First of all, in this situation, Mr. Speaker, please think in a commonsensical way. If you're terminal, there is no other means of actually getting better. The doctors have no incentive to lie to them. And they will also be compassionate enough to tell them, this is the end game. We don't really have anything else we can do. Therefore, we would like you to prepare yourself. But in certain conditions where you have a terminal illness that's not yet killing stages, such as stage 4 of cancer, please sit down, where you still have a fighting chance. We believe in those circumstances to actually prepare and actually ready up the patient to actually live further and actually to open up the opportunity and the chances for this person, if they fight hard enough to live, is more important to provide for the patient. We believe in that sense. In that case, we do not think that truth overcomes the aspect of the potentials or the real curing of the patients themselves. In our side, we said basically the harms. These patients sometimes eventually do get harmed because of their mental illnesses, because of their physical conditions of their immune systems, because of their conditions of dementia, such as Munchausen's that itself requires placebos. We also talked to you about, and therefore, in healing processes. where placebos are actually beneficial. You don't tell the guy that this is a sugar pill, and the whole purpose of the medical theory of placebos is to provide this person with hope and a positive mentality so that their immune system will actually fight their process over. The second issue is that what my second speaker actually talked about in the matters of if the doctors in these cases actually have this position to do so, why take away that option? Normally, if, as they say, in most cases, knowing the truth will actually prepare them to do so, let them. We're not stopping them from doing so. But the problem is, in certain cases, because we provided that there are cases where lying is required, you can't heal them. Now, because under your proposition's case, then they will be compromised. They have a personal clash of interest. Do I go to jail or do I cure my patient? These kind of incidents are the only effects in real life that will happen because of the proposition's case. For in today's case, therefore, Mr. Speaker, we believe for the sake of curing, the number one priority of what is the most important issue of today's debate, we require doctors to have all of their options to cure their patients. For these reasons, we're trying to
Thank you very much for that speech. Now move to the reply portion of the debate. Invite the first reply from opposition.
We're here. We believe in opposing our honorable members of the government. We believe that the government has failed their burden in giving a sufficient reason of why doctors shouldn't lie in all circumstances. We believe as the opposition we gave a sufficient reason that it is important at certain circumstances to give that discretion to the doctors. The reason was basically a number of reasons. Doctors are in the best position to do so, and this is something that they kind of conceded to, but yet again do not necessarily touch upon. They conceded to that they have a lot of expert knowledge in terms of medical knowledge. They concede that they are probably in the best position to know what the options are. More importantly, doctors are in the best position to cure these people. But probably they're the only people who are able to cure these people. And with the first priority, as we said throughout our debate, that curing is the most significant purpose of what a doctor should do. Becoming a doctor is to cure and save people's lives. We believe that is something that they should uphold. But more importantly, they talked about patients' rights, that they should have the right to know. That the right to know is something that is so absolute. Even when it sometimes compromises your health, even when it sometimes makes lesser options, when you can lesser options in saving yourself or curing yourself, we believe sometimes when the whole goal of going to a hospital first might be being informed, but necessarily in the end is eventually about getting cured or being saved, we believe you have to make certain choices and certain steps in achieving that very end. That's why we always rely on doctors to take what kind of drugs should we take, what kind of food we shouldn't take. We always rely on that very knowledge, rely on the opinions of the doctors in this aspect. So, are there circumstances in which the patient's right to know is not an absolute? Of course. We told you that anorexia, for example, we force feed people, basically. It's not based on consent. We said there are a lot of death-like situations where the patient cannot express any of his or her opinion. We also talked to, some people in a coma might have parents or legal guardians, some might not. But the whole point is, doctors have to, sometimes without the consent, will necessarily have to take certain steps or make certain judgments in taking operations. So we gave you two circumstances in which we believe it was justifiable. We basically said, number one, when it deteriorates the mental state or the health of the patient. We gave examples like being a psychopath, for example. If you know, not necessarily psychopath, but basically, for example, like depression, and knowing that if you are in depression, you are most prone to commit suicide, these are the circumstances. We also told you the second circumstance in which, when it helps the healing process itself, we gave you examples like Munchausen's disease. placebo effect. These are all tactics and all methods to ensure that the patient gets healed in the very end. Then let's talk about the likely effects of what happens in the end eventually, based on what they want to propose. If doctors have to tell the truth all the time, that basically means their ability to cure the patient is significantly inhibited, is significantly undermined. And we think that eventually is very detrimental to the patient in itself, because the capacity of doctors to make accurate judgments or to make right in terms of healing them is significantly undermined or compromised. The doctor's goal, the very oath that they take, also is compromised. We also think that the patient's rights are eventually compromised in these situations. So should we allow doctors to lie in certain circumstances based on their discretion? We believe so. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Final speech of this debate, and now invite the government to reply.
Simply, we think that their case is very mythical. Why? Simply, ladies and gentlemen, this of the House, they have recognized the importance of telling truth. Simply, they acknowledge that the government, the doctor have to tell the truth in every normal condition. And in this case, we caught from their statement, in this case, how they recognize the importance of the truth itself. Why? They backstab it by saying that in emergency condition, the doctor should not tell the truth. While on the other hand, they have recognized the importance of this truth in a normal condition in the very first place, ladies and gentlemen. So we think that it seems to be backstabbing. Second point, they fail to characterize, they claim us that there are some people with mental disorders, they are not ready, they are going to feel depressed once they know the truth. But they have never really explained to us how many people, are they the majority, how significant are these people existing in the status quo, because we stick to our principle, we say that in our principle that no, the people are not that vulnerable, the people are not that weak so that they can easily get stressed, they can easily get depressed. On the other hand, if they do get depressed, the doctors always have the way to make them, to encourage them, because the doctor learns psychology, simply for example, and the doctor knows much better than them. So the doctor knows a lot of alternatives to medicate them, to cure them. So in this case, we believe that they failed to characterize in the first place how many people with those immune system breakdown or with those anorexia things that they claim, so that this debate is valid to be brought up in this kind of action, ladies and gentlemen. In the very first place, they believe that the purpose of going to the hospital is to get cured. Why on earth you think that you can get cured by these three magical words? By simply when the doctor saying you are okay, you will get cured. Is that okay? No, you will not get cured, because simply the cancer will still be there. All those diseases are still going to be there in your body. It's not even going to cure you. What you need to do, we agree in this case that the purpose to go to hospital is to get cured. And we believe in this case prevention, mental readiness, or a part of the curing itself, ladies and gentlemen. This kind of aspect has never really been pointed out by this side of the house. Third point is about the emergency situation. Yes, say for example, you're suffering from cancer stage 1, and then the doctor lied to you by simply saying you are okay, you can continue with a simple medication. And in the end, when it comes worse, you need to be operated or you need to take certain surgery. At the end of this kind of medication, once the doctor wants to commit to further action, say for example operate your body, they still need your agreement. What does that mean? They still need to disclose your real condition. It is implying that at the end of the procedure, this doctor still have to tell the truth, even if they have lied at the previous time, ladies and gentlemen. So this is showing you that no need to tell the lie, because at the end you have to tell the truth. So and by telling you the lie, for example, it is going to trigger more harms. For example, the people cannot prevent the further kind of the treatments that they might suffer from their disease in the first place, ladies and gentlemen. We believe in this case, there are some points left unresponded. The first one is about prevention, the mental readiness. They have never really recognized that mental readiness and psychological things are there, and this mental readiness supports fosters positively to the medication of the patient itself, ladies and gentlemen. And they have never really explained to us why it is in line with the doctor's integrity itself. Because we believe that this is infringing the doctor's integrity. We rely on the principle of trust. This trust has to be mutual. And once this trust is being infringed, why the patients trust the doctor? Because they know that the doctor is much more experienced than them. Therefore, they trust everything the doctor says about them. And what the doctor says is very crucial for them. Once the doctor lied to them, it will disappoint the patient itself, so that, the aim purpose would not be achieved by any means. We have proven to you in this case, they wouldn't get cured by simply the doctor saying you are okay, the cancer will still be there, the diabetes will still be there. Second, even if in the emergency situation, once you want to commit further action, you need their agreement. Once you need their agreement, you need to tell them the truth. At the end, you still need to tell them the truth. So you don't need to lie in the first place, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we believe that we should take this debate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Invite you across the floor, shake hands.